Hello everybody, welcome to Traveling. This is where you get ready and steady to go everywhere you possibly want, and you can talk to anybody who you possibly may want to talk to during your trips, okay? Because travel is general, trip is specific. For example, do you like to travel? Yes, I love. I love traveling. Or, oh, where is Fulano? Oh, Fulano is traveling. It's general. Okay? Specific destination, you go on a trip. Okay, so I'm on a trip to Rio. I'm going on a trip to Rio. Okay? Oh, Fulano is traveling. He's on a trip to Buenos Aires, for example. So traveling is general. I love traveling. Do you like to travel? Oh, Fulano is not here. He's on vacation. He's traveling. But when it's a specific with a destination, he's traveling. He's on a trip to New York City. He went to New York City. He's visiting New York City. He is on a trip to New York City. Okay? But we don't say traveling to New York City at the same sentence. Okay, guys? So, let's review some questions, okay, that you may be asked during your trips, not during your travelings. It doesn't exist, travelings. During your trips. During your trips, because we are talking about specific trips with destination, not, it's like viajando, general, or viajar, versus viagens. Viagens is specific, has a beginning, an end, and has a destination, trips. Okay, so questions you may be asked during your trips. Let's go. Okay, so let's go. Just remember, you have the slides. They are here just to guide me, okay? Not so you can read them. You have, if you want to read the slides, the best place to do it is on the slide itself, okay? So, fundamental questions. Every time that someone talks to you that you do not understand for any reason, which can happen to all of us, you're just going to say, I'm sorry, can you repeat that, please? I'm sorry. Could you repeat that, please? I'm sorry, could you say that again? I'm sorry, could you repeat that, please? Could you say that again? Could you repeat that question? Or, I'm sorry, can you repeat? Or even, you can just say, after they fire something like, huh? What you gonna do? Huh? What you gonna do? Sandrine, if you don't understand what they are talking to you, what they are saying, you can just say, I'm sorry, or excuse me. They understand you are saying, I'm sorry, excuse me. Can you repeat that, please? Okay? Every time you need some time, like, can I see your passport, please? What's your phone number? What's your email address? What's your hotel's address? What's the address for your hotel? Where are you staying? Whatever they ask, question, or if they ask you for something, a document, a piece of information, a phone number, an address, whatever, if you need some time, you're going to say, a moment, please, just a moment. Okay, give me just a moment, just one moment, please, so you can have time. Okay, so just a minute, just a moment, give me just a minute, give me just a moment, one moment, please. They will understand you need time to think, you need time to search, you need time to look for something, whatever. Okay? Next one. May I go to the bathroom? May I go to the bathroom is a polite way to say you need to leave a situation and go to the bathroom. Not every time we say, may I go to the bathroom, we actually want to go to the bathroom, okay? But needing you to go to the bathroom or not, or regardless if you need to go to the bathroom or not, okay, regardless, independentemente, okay, regardless if you need to go to the bathroom or not, if you want to be polite and you want to leave a situation and you want to go somewhere, maybe being the bathroom itself, you're just gonna say, may I go to the bathroom? Okay? It's a polite way. Of course, you're gonna use this preferably or usually when you actually want to go to the bathroom, but sometimes you will say, may I go to the bathroom, just because you want to leave and go somewhere. Do you understand? Okay? May I drink some water? May I drink some water? Oops, sorry. May I drink some water? May I drink some water? Every time you want to ask for how is a word pronounced in English, if you have someone to ask, or even me, how can I say banheiro in English? Oh, bathroom. How can I say água in English? Water. Okay, how can I say tanana in English? What's the meaning of, if you hear a word that you don't understand, let's say you hear an entire sentence and there is just one word you don't understand, you can ask, I'm having trouble understanding what you're saying because I don't know the meaning of bathroom. Let's say, for example, what's the meaning of bathroom? What does it mean? Can you explain the word bathroom for me? What's the meaning of? Okay? Can you help me out here, please? Every time you need somebody to help you with something, whatever it is, okay? Whatever it is, just fire. Can you help me out here, please? For example, you are in a restaurant, you are shopping, you are renting a car, choosing a car, choosing the order you're gonna make at the restaurant, okay? Choosing the car you wanna rent, or shopping and you are choosing what you want to shop. If you need to ask a question, if you need to change the size of the shoes, of the pants, of the shirt or t-shirt, whatever, or the dress, okay? If you want to ask a question about the car you are thinking about renting, whatever. What I'm trying to say here is, sometimes we don't actually want help. We want to ask a question. We want to ask for advice. But the way we would say that in English, in these cases, okay, that I have just mentioned, you do not say, could you give me some advice here, please? You say, can you help me out here, please? Okay, because you want a different color, a different size, ask questions about the car, or ask questions about the menu in the restaurant. Okay, so can you help me out here, please? Can you help me out here, please? Can you help me out here, please? Or could you help me out here, please? Could you help me out? Could you help me out? Can you help me out? Could you help me out? Can you help me out here, please? Okay? Usually to ask a question or ask for advice. And I put this one here because I think it's interesting. If you are talking to someone and your phone rings, whether it is a call you are receiving, whether may it be a message, but it's something or someone that you need to answer right away, now. It cannot wait. The message, the answer, the person calling cannot wait. The matter that is calling or coming to you cannot wait. It has to be now. In this case, you turn to the person that you are having lunch with or talking to, and you say, excuse me, I need to take this one. If they understand English, they understand you are saying, I know our time here is very important. I know you are important. I know it's not polite to make you wait to take a call because you are here in person and the person here is just calling. So I know that I should turn them away and give my attention to you who is here in front of me, but it's important and I need to take now. I need to answer this now. How do you say that in English? Excuse me, I gotta take this one. Excuse me, I need to take this one. Excuse me, I gotta take this one. You are saying, I know it's not ideal, but I have to do this because the issue or the call is extremely important and it's urgent. It has to be taken care of right now. Okay? Okay, continuing with the most basic questions you may or you will probably be asked in your next trip. What's your name? What's your name? What's your name? They do not say, what is your name? They say, what's your name? What's your name? Or even, what's your name? Or name, your name, your name. What's your name? What's your name? Your name, your name. What's your name? Okay? What's your name? My name is Felipe. Where are you from? Where are you from? Where are you from? Okay, so they do not say, what is your name? Where are you from? They're just gonna fire. What's your name? What's your name? Where are you from? Where are you from? Where are you from? Where are you from? What's your name? What's your name? Okay? My name is, and then this time you're gonna answer boldly, bravely. My name is, I'm from, okay? Or even just say your name, Felipe, from Belo Horizonte, Brazil. Okay, so it's your name. What's your name? What's your name? What's your name? What's your name? Where are you from? Where are you from? Where are you from? Okay? How old are you? How old are you? How old are you? How old are you? So, I'm Felipe. I'm from Belo Horizonte, Brazil. I am 35. My wife, her name is Jessica. She's from Brasilia. She's 26, 27. She's turning 27. My daughter, her name is Isabella. She is 2 years old, okay? And she is from Brasilia. My mother is Rita. She is from Maiuaçu. She is 65, something like that, okay? My father, his name is Regis, is from Teresina. He is 60-something. I am Felipe. I am 35. I am from Belo Horizonte. In Portuguese, we say I have 35. No. In English, I am 35. She is 67. She is 27. She is 2 years old. I am, you are. Okay? Are you married or single? So, what's your name? What's your name? Your name? What's your name? How old are you? Where are you from? Married or single? Are you married or single? Are you married or single? Are you married or single or divorced? Okay? Where you live? They do not say where do you live. They say where you live, where you live, where you live, where you live. What's your name? Where are you from? How old are you? How old are you? Where you live, man? Where you live, where you live, where you live. Okay, so I am Felipe. I am from Belo Horizonte. I am 35. I am married. I live in Brasilia. My wife is Jessica. She is 27. She is from Brasilia. She lives in Brasilia today. Okay? We are Felipe and Jessica. We are married. I am 35. She's 27. I'm from Belo Horizonte. She is from Brasilia. We live in Brasilia today. Okay? What do you do? What do you do? What's your name? Where are you from? Where you live? What do you do? Where are you from? What is your name? What do you do? How old are you? Where are you from? What's your name? Where are you from? How old are you? Where you live? What do you do? What's your name? Where are you from? How old are you? Where you live? What do you do? What do you do? What do you do? What do you do? Where are you from? How old are you? What's your name? Where are you from? How old are you? Where are you from? Where are you from? That's how they say. That's how they talk. Okay? Where you from? What's your name? How old are you? Where you live? What do you do? I'm a teacher. I'm a businessman. My wife is a businesswoman. Okay? She's a computer technician, not a computer technician, she's a programmer. Okay, she went to the information technology or science of information or information IT, information technology school. Okay, she's a businesswoman. I'm a teacher. I'm a businessman. My mother is retired. She doesn't work anymore. She was a public servant. She retired. My father is a civil engineer. Okay, my parents-in-law are, my mother-in-law is an economist and a coach. My father-in-law is a psychologist and a coach. Okay, tell me about your background. Tell me about your background. Tell me about your background. This is where you say, for example, I'm going to say about my background. I'm going to tell about my background. Okay? This is basically what you did in the first module of the course. My name is Felipe. I'm 35 years old. I'm married to Jessica. I am from Belo Horizonte. I live in Brasilia today. I went to the electric engineer school, and then I went to the business and management school, and after that I went to the translation and English teaching post-graduation. Okay, I have a business. I went to UNB, the Federal University of Brasilia, and IESB in Brasilia, and then I went to Estácio de Sá, an English college in Rio or São Paulo, something like that. And then my first job was as a public servant. I was a public servant. I worked at a bank, okay, a federal national bank, Bank of Brazil, where I worked for 4.5 years. After that, before I quit, I started teaching English. I started teaching English. And then 6 months later, I was working as a public servant at the bank and working as an English teacher, okay? Working as an English teacher at two schools in Brasilia, okay? 2 schools in Brasilia. 6 months after I started teaching, I quit my job as a public servant and I dedicated myself fully to the teaching of English, and I ended up receiving an invitation to go to the United States of America, where I spent 7 months. When I moved to the US, I was already an English teacher. I was already fluent in English, okay? I spent 7 months living there, helping the church there. Then I came back to Brazil. I couldn't come back to the schools where I used to teach before, so I started my own business, and then, which was called Personal Teacher, which eventually became Jornada do Inglês, which is what I do today. Okay? So, basically, when you talk about your background, you talk about your past, focusing on education and professional career. So basically what you say, this is very common or very usual in a job interview. If you go to a job interview, okay, sometimes when you are going through customs or going through immigration, they might ask you about your background. It might happen or not, okay? But usually they will ask you this question in a job interview. Okay? So when somebody asks you about your background, basically what you answer is, what's your name? Where are you from? How old are you? If you are married or single, where do you live today? What is your occupation today? Okay? What is your occupation today? And you talk them through, você os leva, né? You talk them through you talk to them about your educational and professional background. Where did you go to college? What did you study? Where did you get your first job? Okay, where did you work? And then after that, like, tell me about the story of your life, specifically education and professional career that brought you where you are today. So bring me back to the beginning of your career and your education and talk me through the progress that you had until you arrived here where you are today, doing what you do today. That's basically what you do or what you answer when somebody asks you about your background. Okay? What are your hobbies? What are you interested in? My hobbies are, I love going out to lunch or dinner with my friends and my wife. I have a tub in my house. It's like a jacuzzi, but it's not a jacuzzi, but it's like a jacuzzi. It's a tub. I love to go to the tub and think about my life and plan, reflect, develop strategies, okay? I love to have relationship in the tub with my friends and talk to them about things and have good moments together. I love hosting barbecue at home, inviting friends over to dinner, inviting friends over to lunch. I love inviting, hosting, receiving friends in my house, at my house, okay? I love, you can say in my house or at my house. Usually you would say in my house and at home. In this case, I love inviting friends over to my house. I love receiving friends in my house. And then we have barbecue together, we have good moments together, we go to the tub, we talk about many good things, we do stuff together. I love riding the bike with my daughter. I have a chair specifically for her on my bike. I love taking her out to ride the bicycle with me. I ride the bicycle, she just goes. Okay, she just hops on. She just hops on. Okay, hops on. It's what you do on a bus in London. It's what you do on a horse. It's what you do on a bike. Hop on, hop on, hop on. Tipo, sobe aí, sobe aí. Hop on. So she just hops on. She just goes on the bike. But we could say I love riding the bike with my daughter. I love crossfitting, to go to CrossFit, to do CrossFit, to exercise. Nowadays, it wasn't like this, but nowadays I love doing that. And I love watching Formula One. I love watching Formula One, and believe it or not, I love driving the car with my wife, like taking the highway, driving with my wife. Nowadays, at this moment, I am living in the countrysides of Brasilia. I live in a city that is 75 kilometers away from Brasilia. So every time I come to my office, I do not come here every day, but every time that I come here and that I go back, it's like an hour to come, an hour to go back, which is called commute. C-O-M-M-U-T-E, commute. It's the trip. If you have to like go on a trip to go to work, like 30, 45, 50 minutes or 1 hour to go to work. If you live kind of away from where you work, especially if you live in the outskirts, like, não subúrbio, mas aos arredores, in the outskirts, or in the countryside, no interior, okay? Outskirts would be os arredores do centro da cidade. Countryside seriam o interior ou as cidades um pouco mais afastadas. if you live in the outskirts or in the countryside and you work in the capital, or if you live like 30, 45 minutes away from the place where you work, you commute to work, which is the best time or an amazing time to listen to English. Okay? So, I have to commute 45 minutes to 1 hour commuting to come and to go back. I love to do that with my wife, just the two of us, and we talk about the future. We plan the future. We love doing that. I love doing that. She loves to talk to me, but it's difficult for me to sit on a chair, stand still, and just listen to her or to anybody. I am a little bit anxious and a little bit hyperactive. So the best way for me to listen to someone is when I am doing something else. Can you believe it? Like driving, cleaning the tub, riding the bicycle, whatever. It's very hard for me, very difficult for me to just sit on a chair and listen to someone quietly and standing still like this. So one of my hobbies, one of my favorite things is driving, when I am driving with my wife next to me, and we talk about the future and we talk about life. It's amazing. I love doing that. Okay? Now, what I want you to do is practice the pronunciation of the questions that I asked here. Listen and listen and listen again. Traveling, I'm going to do separate audios, focusing just on questions and answers, different from the classes, okay? So, get the audios, practice the pronunciation, and practice answering the questions here about your life, your reality. Okay, so this is the slide for you to practice, which is called Introducing Myself. Can you introduce yourself first, please? Can you talk about yourself? Can you introduce me to him? Or can you introduce her to us? Okay? In Portuguese, we say apresentar. In English, we say introduce. So you can introduce yourself, you can introduce somebody, you can introduce someone to someone else, okay? Which is when you talk about yourself, when you talk about who you are, where you're from. This is the script, so for you to practice the questions from last slide for your reality and your information. Hi, my name is Felipe. I'm from Belo Horizonte, Brazil. I'm married to Jessica. I'm 35 years old. I'm an engineer and a businessman. I live in Brasilia today. I lived in the United States of America. Today, I am from Belo Horizonte. I lived in Brasilia for 30-something, 29, 30 years. Then I moved to the United States of America. I came back to Brasilia, and now I live in Formosa, which is in the countryside. It is actually Goiás. It's not even Distrito Federal anymore. It's Goiás, but it's considered countryside of Brasilia. Everybody who lives in Formosa either works in Formosa or lives in Formosa and works in Brasilia. So the area number from Formosa is 61, the same area number from Brasilia. I didn't have to change my phone number when I moved to Formosa. Okay, so even though it's Goiás, or although it's Goiás, even though it's Goiás, or although it's Goiás, or nevertheless it's Goiás, it's practical life, it's much more Brasilia than Goiás. Okay? Whatever my hobbies are, I have just mentioned. I have one daughter. I have two children, three children. Their names are, I have one daughter. Her name is Isabella. Isabella. My name is Felipe, Felipe, Fabcdelipe. My wife is Jessica, Jabcdessa. She's 27, she's turning 27 in December. And we have a daughter, her name is Isabella, Isabe, ABCDE, L-L-A. Isabella is from Brasilia. She is our lovely daughter. I miss her a lot already. It's just 3 hours that I left her with Jessica, but I miss her so much. I am such a, how do you say that? Such a loving father, such a romantic father. Okay? Anyways, our daughter Isabella, she is 2 years old. She's turning 2 in October. Okay, let's start talking about international trips at last. Okay, the first steps, as I said, in this part of the course, you are going to learn absolutely everything you need to learn about traveling. From the moment that you choose your destination up to getting on the plane, the trip itself, coming back home, absolutely everything. Okay? So, the very first step of a trip is to choose your destination. Okay? And it depends on the purpose of the trip. The destination depends on the purpose of the trip. Felipe, what do you mean by that? I'm putting on the screen for you now. It depends if you are traveling if it's a vacation trip. Why are you here? What's the purpose? What's the purpose of a trip? What's the purpose of a trip? Why are you here? Are you here on vacation? Are you here? There are 4 major reasons, 4 major purposes why people travel. Number 1 is vacation. Most of us, we travel on vacation. Some of us travel to study. We go on an exchange program. It is called an exchange program. Okay? It's when you spend like 6 months living abroad in another country to learn the language and the culture of the other country. Some of us travel on business. When you say you are traveling on business, it doesn't need to be because you are a businessman. You can be a public servant traveling or on a business trip. When you say business, it's like I'm not here to have fun. No fun for me. I'm not here on vacation. I'm not here to study. I'm here on business. I have a mission, a professional mission. The best way to describe what we say when we travel on business is I'm here on a professional mission. I have a professional mission. That's why I am here. I am not here to study. I am not here on vacation. I'm not here to have fun, to visit friends. Nothing. I'm here on business, professional reasons. Finally, the last and worst reason to travel, which I hope none of us ever has to travel because of that, to go under medical treatment. Okay? So, 4 major reasons why people travel. We travel on vacation, we travel on business, we travel to study, okay? We go on an exchange program, and people travel to go under medical treatment. So, what happens is the purpose of the trip determines the destination. If you are working or on business, the destination is chosen by the business, by the mission, by the company, by the government, not by you. If you are going on vacation, the destination is totally different, or the process of choosing the destination is completely different from the process you will use to choose a destination to study. For example, so if you are traveling on vacation, the process to choose the destination is going to be completely different from the one you would use to choose the destination if you were going to study. Okay? For example, if you ask me, Felipe, after I finish jornada, I would like to spend 1 month away abroad to fully practice all the English that I learned and all the fluency that I got with jornada. Where should I go? We use should when we want to ask the opinion of someone who is more experienced than us. In other words, when we want to ask for advice, we use should. So where should I go? Where should I? Should I? Should I? Where should I go, Felipe? I would advise you to go to Canada. If you want to practice your English after you finish jornada, I would tell you to go to Canada. They are the most welcoming people on earth, not on earth, but from the countries that speak English. Australia, the United Kingdom, the United States, Canada. Canada is the most welcoming country, and their English is the clearest. Okay? The way they speak is so clear, so good, and easy to understand. So, if you were going on a first trip to study, to practice the English, I would tell you to go to Canada. But if you ask me, Felipe, where should I go if I want to buy stuff? Go to the United States. Where should I go if I want to celebrate my marriage? Go to the United Kingdom, go to London, go to Ireland. So the purpose of the trip determines the destination. Okay? 4 major purposes that we use to travel. We travel on vacation, we travel on business, we travel to study, exchange program. People travel to go under medical treatment. Okay? Continuing. After you choose the destination, the second step is to buy your tickets. To buy the tickets. After you choose the destination, you have to buy the tickets. Okay? And when we talk about buying the tickets, we have something that we use here everywhere called mileage from your loyalty program. You can use the mileage from your loyalty program like Smiles, like Multitus, like AA Advantage. Okay? They are called loyalty programs which offer you the possibility to keep, to save, to accumulate miles that you can exchange for air tickets. So the second step, after you have chosen the destination, you buy your tickets. And after that, what do? You book a hotel, which is to make the hotel reservation. Yes? Finally, you check or get a visa. Okay? Check and get the passport. Why? Because there is a very important detail here. Let's first work 2 concepts. Issue date and expiration date. Issue date is the day your passport and visa were printed, let's say, the day they print your passport, like the day they produce, manufacture, the day your passport is actually made, it becomes real, it becomes a document, it comes out of the printer, out of the graphic, let's say, is called issue date. Issue date. Another way to understand and to memorize the concept of issue is some websites, some American websites, especially Apple, for example, iTunes Store, Apple's website, and other websites, they do not allow you to buy something on their website if your credit card was not issued, manufactured, produced, created in the United States of America. For you to buy on their website or in iTunes Store and some other websites, your credit card must have been issued, must have been produced, must have been printed, created in the territory of the United States of America. It's not enough to have an international credit card. No, it has to be issued in the United States of America. Even if you get your credit card now, you will see there your passport, your visa, your ID, and your credit card. They have the issue date, the day of fabrication, manufacturing, the day it was produced. Okay, now let's come back here. It's not enough to have, after or when your passport is issued. Nowadays, I believe 5 years after the issuing date, 5 years after the day it is produced, it is printed, 5 years later, it expires. 5 years later, your passport is no longer valid. 10 years later, your American visa is no longer valid. Okay, so if you get a passport today, in 2018, it will expire in 2023. If you get a visa today, your visa will expire, will no longer be accepted, no longer be valid. It will expire 10 years from now in 2028. Okay? Now, if you, just to work a little bit more the concept of expiration, if you go to the fridge in your house, I hope you have watched the videos about houses and apartments and appliances. The appliance where you keep the food and the drinks is called fridge. If you go to the fridge to drink yogurt or milk, whatever, and you open the fridge and you get the milk or you get the yogurt, and when you drink, it tastes terrible. And then the first reaction you have is you get the carton of milk, caixa de leite, carton of milk, or the yogurt, and you check the expiration date. If the milk, if the yogurt, if the eggs, if the food tastes terrible, bad and it is expired like 4 days ago, 5 days ago, 10 days ago, 30 days ago, expired, that's the reason why the taste is so terrible, because it is expired. It's no longer good. It's no longer good. Não presta mais. No longer good. Okay? So, expiration date of passport, 5 years. Expiration date of the American visa today, 10 years. Now, if you are going on an international trip, it's not enough to have a valid passport. And it's not enough to have a valid visa. You must, not should, not could, you must have at least 6 months on your passport, on your visa, before the expiration date. On the day of your departure, we will see this in a minute, on the day of your departure, on the day of your flight, you must have still 6 months of valid passport and visa if you are going to the United States, Canada, Mexico, the countries that require a visa for you to enter. On the day of your flight, leaving Brazil, you must, not should, not could, you must have at least 6 months of good, valid passport and visa. Otherwise, you cannot departure. You cannot board the airplane. They will block you. They will send you back. So you must check, you should check the expiration date on your visa. You should check the expiration date on your visa because you must have at least 6 months of valid passport and valid visa on the day of your flight. Okay? So after you have chosen your destination, bought your tickets, booked your hotel, checked or got the passport, your passport and your visa, if it's the case, and made sure, after you have made sure that you have at least six months of valid passport and valid visa on your passport before the expiration date, it's time to check the weather on your destination. What's the weather like in Boston in December, for example? Okay, is it going to be hot or cold? Is it going to be dry or wet? Dry is like sertão, is like Brasilia in July, August. It's dry, it doesn't rain. Okay? Wet is the opposite. It's like Brasilia in December. It's the weather is cold and wet. Okay? Weather in July, the weather in Brasilia is weather, W-E-T-H-E-R. Weather, W-E-A-T-H-E-R. Okay? Weather, no A, enquanto. Weather with A, like this, clima, tempo. Okay, so the weather in Brasilia is wet and cold in December. Weather in July, enquanto que in July the weather is hot and dry. Hot and dry. Okay, so is it going to rain or are there chances of raining or not? What's the weather like in your destination in the month you are going to? And why is this important? It's important so you can understand what kind of clothes you are going to wear when you travel. What kind of clothes are you going to put in your bag when you travel. You must know the weather, what's the weather like in your destination, so you can properly pack your bags. The packing or pack is the action of putting your clothes in your bags. So, in order for you to properly pack your bags, in order for you to know what kind of clothes, shirts, pants, shoes, socks, are you gonna, whether you're going to bring coats or not, jackets or not, sweaters or not, even scarves, okay? You must know what's the weather like, because if it's going to be hot and dry, you're gonna bring some kind of clothes. If it's gonna be cold and wet, for example, you're gonna bring another kind of clothes. Okay, so for you to pack for your trip, you must know what is the weather like in your destination. Okay, so you can properly pack your bags, so you can properly choose the clothes you're going to bring, okay, inside your bags. Okay, people? Next step, decide whether or not you are going to rent a car. And here we can practice should. As we talked before, should is used when you want to ask the opinion of a more experienced person in a matter. Okay, so people who have traveled more than you to your destination, people who know the cities or the country you're going to visit, they have more experience, they are more experienced in that country or in traveling to that country than you. And if it's the case, it's very intelligent of us to ask them their opinion, okay, about things, places that we should visit, things we should do, where good places to eat, good things to do, and things that we are not, or things that are not intelligent to do. Okay? The natural way to say this is what you should do, what you shouldn't do. Where should you eat? Where shouldn't you eat? What should you do? What shouldn't you do? What should you bring to that country? What shouldn't you bring to that country? And one of the things that we usually want to know the opinion of more experienced or seasoned travelers, there is an expression in English called seasoned travelers or seasoned. If someone is seasoned from season, like spring, summer, autumn, fall, winter, season, and then you put ed at the end, seasoned. If someone is a seasoned player, a seasoned traveler, a seasoned dad, whatever, it means they are experienced. They have a lot of experience in that. Okay, so one of the things that we usually ask the opinion of seasoned travelers is, should I rent a car, yes or no? Should I rent a car? So for example, if you are going to New York City, should you rent a car? Should I rent a car if I go to New York City? No, definitely not. Definitely you shouldn't. Okay? Now, if you're going to Florida, should I rent a car? I would say yes. Even if you go to Miami, where the traffic is crazy and it's very hard to find places to park, especially Miami downtown. Yet, I believe if you're going to Miami, you should rent a car because the public transportation in Miami is terrible. Whereas the public transportation, enquanto que the public transportation in Miami, in New York City, is amazing. It works every day, 24/7, all days of the week, 24/7, all day long. Okay? So, if you go to Florida, yes, I believe you should rent a car. If you go to New York City or even London, no, I think you shouldn't rent a car. Okay, so renting a car depends on where you are going, when you are going, okay? So if you go to Florida, yes, I believe you should rent a car. If you go to New York City, no, you shouldn't rent a car. So we use should to ask for advice, to ask the opinion of someone who is more experienced than us in something. What is the word in English to describe someone who is more experienced than us, or who is very experienced in something? Seasoned. Seasoned. He's a seasoned traveler. So he has a lot of experience in traveling. That's an amazing person for us to ask the opinion, to ask for advice, to ask, should I rent a car? What kind of clothes should I bring? Where should I eat? What should I do if I go to London? Where should I go? What are the must places, must visit places? Must is stronger than should. Should is like it's a very good thing to do. Okay? Could is less strong than should. Could is like if you have time, you could go to London Eye, for example. I believe you should. Some people would say you must. If you could, it's like general opinion. Okay, if you have time, if it's possible, it's one of the options. You could go to the London Eye, for example. Okay? If I believe it's something very good, it's very smart of you doing that, it's a very intelligent thing to do. Okay? Among the options you have, if I believe this is one of the best options, then I would say, let's say for example, going to the London Eye is one of the best options. I would say you should go to the London Eye. And if I believe it's the best option and it's something that you have to do, you cannot go to London and not go there, not visit the London Eye. I would say you must go to the London Eye. Okay, so could, one of the options, if it's possible, it's one of the options, but it's general opinion. Okay, so could, you could go to the London Eye, you could go to the Buckingham Palace. Among the options I believe are the best. I use should. Okay, so you should go to the London Eye, you should go to the Hudson River, you should get a train and go to Paris, for example. And the things that I believe you have to do, must. Okay? Which one do we use to ask for advice, to ask for opinion? The opinion of someone who is more experienced than us. Should. What should I do? What do you think I should do? Where should I go? Where shouldn't I go? What kind of clothes should I bring? What kind of places should I visit? And what are the things you believe I should not do? Where are the places I should not go? Okay? Finally, after all of that, it's time to pack your bags. As I have mentioned before, packing or to pack your bags is when you get your clothes, shirts, pants, socks, shoes, all of your clothes, and you put them in your bag. Okay? So, what kind of clothes should I bring to my trip? Should I bring to that destination? And then after, based on the weather and your preference, after you have chosen your clothes, you're going to pack. You're going to put them in your bag. So packing or pack. Okay, if let's say you're going to travel tomorrow, your flight is tomorrow, the day before or the night before, somebody calls you, a friend of yours calls you and asks, what are you doing, man? Or what are you doing? Hey, what are you doing? I'm packing. I'm packing. I'm packing. I'm packing. You can just say, I'm packing. It means I'm putting my clothes in my bags because I'm going to travel. I'm packing. Okay? And then you go to the airport, of course, after you have packed. After you have done all of this, you go to the airport, and then when you get to the airport, it's time, if you haven't done the web check-in, the digital check-in, or web or online check-in, it's time to, when you get to the airport, it's when you do your check-in, if you haven't done so before. Usually, international trips, I put this here because domestic flights allow you to do online check-in. Domestic flights are flights that do not leave the borders of your country. National flights. If you live in Brazil, domestic flights are flights that start and end, take off and land within Brazil. They do not leave the territory of Brazil, the borders of Brazil. They are called domestic flights. Domestic flights. Okay? The takeoff and the landing is in Brazil. And it doesn't go outside Brazil. It doesn't leave the territory of Brazil. International flights, international trips, usually don't allow you to do online check-in. The check-in must be made, must be done at the airport, okay? And when you do your check-in, you gotta book your seats, choose where you want to sit, book your seats, and check in your bags. Now, something very important here. There are two kinds of bags. Bags that you can bring with you onto the airplane. Bags that you can bring with you on board. Bags that you can carry with you. So, in English, this is to carry. To carry something. Women, when they are pregnant, we say that they are carrying. Oh, she's carrying. She is carrying a baby inside of her. Okay, so in English, if you listen or if you hear the expression, oh, she's carrying, she has a baby. She is pregnant. Okay, so this is to carry something. So bags that you can carry with you on the airplane. It's not, we go in the bus, in the car, but we go on the ship, on the plane. When we enter an airplane or a ship, okay, the area of the airplane, the area of the ship prevalece. So natives say, let's go on the ship, let's go on the plane. When you get in the car, okay, when you get in the car, we go in the car, we get in the car, but we get on the bus, on the ship, on the plane, okay? When you have to bend, dobrar, when you have to bend your knees, okay, bend down like this to get in the car. The idea of being inside the car because you gotta bend to enter, the idea of being inside the car prevalece. But when you get on the bus, on the ship, and on the plane, the area of the bus, the ship, and the plane underneath your foot, abaixo dos seus pés, prevails. So that's why natives say we get in the car, we get on the bus, on the ship, and on the plane. So, bags that you can carry with you on the plane, carry on bags. Ok? Carry on bags. Quando a gente coloca substantivo na frente de outro, ele se torna adjetivo que descreve. When a noun goes before another noun, it becomes an adjective that describes the next noun. Soccer ball, a ball to play soccer. Carry on bags, the bag that you carry on with you onto the plane. You carry with you on the plane or onto the plane, whatever. The bags that are too big to go with you on the plane must be checked in when you do your check-in. They are called check-in bags or drop-off bags. In English, this is to drop. Okay? So, the police, when they see a criminal, they say, drop your weapons right now. Drop. They tell the criminal, drop your weapons right now. Drop. So, the bags that are too big to be carried on the plane or to be carried onto the plane with you, both are correct, they must be checked in, they must be dropped off. They must be dropped off. We saw drop off in the routine, remember? Drop. So they must be dropped off or checked in at the time of your check-in. They are called drop-off bags or check-in bags. Okay, so again, small bags that you can carry with you on the plane or that you can carry with you onto the plane, they are called carry-on bags. Bags that are too big to be carried on and must be checked in or dropped off, they are called check-in bags or drop-off bags. Okay? After you do your check-in, book your seats, choose your seats, drop off your check-in bags or drop off your drop-off bags, okay, or check in your drop-off bags, and keep the carry-on bags. It's time for you to go through immigration, go through customs. This is where they will check the expiration date. They will ask you for your ID and passport, please. And this is where they will check the expiration date on your passport and on your visa, if it's the case. It's when you go through immigration. It's when you go through customs. Okay? This is where federal police it's where they check your passport, they check your visa, if it's the case, to see if it's valid, to see if you are not a criminal trying to flee the country, to escape, to run away, okay? So, it's when you go through immigration. After that, you will finally go through security. It's when you go through the X-ray. You and your bags, okay? And that's it for now. let's continue in the next video. Okay, so I have chosen my destination, bought my tickets, booked my hotel, I've checked or got my passport, my visa. I have made sure that I have at least 6 months of valid passport and a valid visa on my passport. It's not gonna expire in the next 6 months, okay? I have at least a semester of good valid passport and visa if it's the case. I've checked the weather on my destination. I've rented a car or not. Depends if should I rent a car or should you rent a car or not. I've packed my bags. I've gone to the airport. I've done my check-in. I've booked my seats. I've checked in my bags. I've carried on or I've kept my carry-on bags with me. I've gone through immigration. They checked my passport and my visa. They let me go. They allowed me through. I've gone through security. It's time for me to find my gate, to locate my gate, like A47, B15, B20, whatever, okay? And then we have some concepts here that we're going to work. Boarding gate, boarding time. In English, boarding is the action to enter the means of transportation that you are going to use. If you're going to travel on a bus, the moment you enter the bus, it's when you board the bus. If you're going to travel on a ship, the moment you set foot on the ship, the very moment that you enter the ship, that you put your first foot on the ship or on the plane, in English is called boarding. That's why we say boarding gate and boarding time. It's boarding gate, and boarding gate is where you are supposed to be in order for you to enter the plane. Boarding time is the time you are supposed to be there by in order to enter, to board the plane. Boarding time. Departure in English means the moment that the airplane starts moving, starts preparing to take off. That's departure. So boarding time is the time people are supposed to board the plane, to enter the plane. Departing time is the time that the airplane is supposed to departure, to the ship. The ship departures or departs when it leaves the border, the shore. It starts moving on the water, okay? The airplane departures or depart, the departure time of the flight is the time that the airplane disconnects from the airport. Okay? When the flight or when the airplane starts moving, preparing to the takeoff. So, this is why the boarding time is usually 30 minutes earlier than the departing time. Because it usually takes 30 minutes for the airline company to accommodate everybody on the plane. So they usually ask 30 to 60 minutes to accommodate everybody. Depends on the size or depends on how many people are going to fly, okay? So they will ask for 30 to 60 minutes earlier for you to be there, 30 to 60 minutes earlier than the departure time and it's going to be called boarding time. Boarding time, the time you're supposed to be at your gate to board the plane. Departing time, the time that the departure, the disconnection will happen. The time that the airplane will disconnect, depart from the airport, starts moving and prepare to the takeoff. Okay? One end, we have departure time, starting time. On the other hand, we have ETA, estimated time of arrival. It's the landing. If the departure time is the time of the taking off, the starting of the flight, the beginning of the flight, the beginning of the trip. On the other hand of the stick, bastão, on the other hand of the stick, we have the ETA. If you use Waze, the app Waze, as pessoas falam, né? Waze. If you use Waze, the application Waze, to drive, okay? In English, when you set your destination, Waze is going to tell you your ETA, estimated time of arrival, okay? Which is when the landing, when the airplane will touch the ground again. Touch the ground again. Vai tocar o solo de novo. Landing. Okay? Landing. Estimated arrival time or estimated time of arrival. Okay, so estimated arrival time or estimated time of arrival. Both are possible. It's when your flight will end. When the airplane will touch the ground again. Okay? Estimated arrival time or estimated time of arrival and landing. When the airplane touches the ground again, this word landing here is also used to describe in boxing a punch. Wow, he landed. Boom! It's the same concept when the fish hits the face. Okay, so estimated arrival time or estimated time of arrival. Okay? When the landing happens, when the flight ends, when the airplane touches the ground again. Okay? Now, when we are talking about departure, there are two important concepts here. When you get to the airport and after you have done all of that, you go to, there are some TVs that are giving information about all the flights. And then you get your flight number, AA 1589, for example. Okay? You get your flight number, you go to the screen, and you check if your departure is on time, which means confirmed. If the departure is going to happen on time, on the scheduled time, when you go to the screen, on the screen you will see the word, confirmed. Confirmed. Okay? If anything has happened and the departure has been postponed, delayed, for 10, 15, 20, 30 minutes, you will see the word delayed. Okay, so let's say you are coming back home from Europe to Brazil. Coming back home, when you get to the airport, you do your check-in, and when you get to your gate, you go to the screen, you get your flight number, and you check on the screen, and you see your flight, your departure has been delayed for 2 hours. 2 hours. And there is somebody in Brazil that will pick you up at the airport in the following morning. Okay? what would you do here? You would get your phone and you would text or WhatsApp the person saying, hey, I was scheduled, or my flight was scheduled to arrive in Brazil tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. But I have just found out, I have just found out that my departure has been delayed for 2 hours. So I should probably be landing in Brazil tomorrow at 9. Do not go to the airport to pick me up at 7. Go at 9. I will double check and I will send you, or I will text you later if I have any other information about that. Okay? This is what you would say. If it's on time, confirmed, okay? Hey, my flight has been confirmed. We are leaving in 2 hours. Tomorrow at 7, we should be landing in Brazil. Okay, pick me up. Bye, see you there. And this is this is good, not so good, terrible. It's when you get to the airport and you find out your flight has been canceled. That's terrible, because it's not that your flight has been delayed. It's not going to happen. It has been canceled. Terrible. So if it's on time, confirmed, amazing piece of news. If it's been delayed for 1 hour, 2 hours, not so good, but still is going to happen. At least we are going back home today or tonight. Now, if your flight has been canceled, that is terrible. This is what we never want to see when we get to the airport. Okay? So, flight number is what we use to get information about our departure time and even about our bags or estimated time of arrival, departing time. Okay? Flight ticket is what you need. It's very important to keep your flight ticket and to keep the receipt for your bags with you. Ter com você, manter com você. Keep your receipt, keep your flight ticket until all the way throughout your trip, throughout your flight, until the end of the flight. Keep your flight tickets and your receipts, the receipt for your bags, the tags that you get when you check in your bags. Keep them with you. Keep them with you throughout your flight until the end of your flight. Because if they lose your bag, or if you cannot find your bags when you land, they will ask you for your flight ticket and they will ask you for the receipt of the checking in of your bags. Okay? So it's important to keep your flight tickets and the receipt of your bags with you at all times throughout the flight until the end of the flight, until you have your bags with you again. Okay? And the flight number is what we use to get information about departing time, estimated time of arrival, landing time, boarding time, seat number, where are you going to seat. It's all made possible when you know your flight number. You must know the flight number in order for you to get information about all of that. Okay? Finally, if you have a problem with your luggage, with your bags, not the carry-on bags, because the carry-on bags, you carry them with you on the plane. Okay? But if you have problems with your check-in bags or with your drop-off bags, you gotta go to the baggage claim area, okay, or claim baggage area, and you will look for something called a counter, balcão, a counter or counter called lost luggage counter. Lost luggage counter. You must probably have watched a video that I posted on Instagram about this. If you haven't watched, go there on my Instagram and look for Essa eu aposto que você não sabia. That's the title of the tip. Esta eu aposto que você não sabia. And watch the video when I talk about this, when I show the images, okay? Lost luggage counter, and you will talk to them and you will say, guys, I'm sorry, but I believe you lost my luggage. Okay? I'm sorry, but I believe you lost my luggage. Para facilitar, I'm going to put the link to the video here. I'm going to put the link to the Instagram tip here, okay? I'm sorry, but I believe you lost my luggage, and you will file a claim. You will file a claim. You will register a complaint. File a claim. Register a complaint, okay? So, watch the video that I did, and then we continue. Continuing, after all of that, you're going to go through customs and immigration again. In your destination, first, you have gone through immigration and customs, leaving Brazil. Now you must go through immigration and customs when you land in your destination. Okay? And that's it for now. Okay, people? See you in the next video. Okay, let's continue. Shouldn't. Okay, so if I'm gonna travel, should I bring cash to my trip? Should I bring a credit card to my trip? Should I bring travel money? Okay, so as I said, if you ask what's the name of the person who is a experienced traveler, seasoned traveler. If you ask a seasoned traveler, what should I do in your opinion? What should I bring to my trip? If he's talking about general options, all the suggestions, all the options that you have, oh, you could bring cash, you could bring credit card, you could bring travel money, okay? I believe, and then he moves on to what he believes to be the best or among the best options. I believe you should bring a little money in cash, and I believe you should have a credit card too, okay? And I believe you should, you could, let's say that it's me talking, you could have, or you could bring some cash, or you could bring some money in travel money, but I believe what you should bring is a credit card and bring some cash. You should have some cash. Actually, I believe you must have some cash with you at all times, because some places will not accept credit cards. They will only accept payment in cash. So I believe you should have a little money in cash, and you should have a credit card, and actually that you must carry cash, or you must have some cash on you at all times, and you must, not only should, you must, in my opinion, must bring or have an international credit card, because even if you're one of those kind of people who say, I think you shouldn't bring a credit card because you could spend more than you should, or I think you shouldn't have a credit card because you could spend more money than you should, than you are supposed to. I believe you should, or even that you must bring a credit card, because if you, maybe must is too strong, should have, should carry, should bring a credit card, because if you have an emergency, okay, and you need a credit card, if you don't carry, or if you didn't bring your credit card with you, if you are not carrying, or if you don't have your credit card with you when you are in Europe, it's not like you can go back home and get a credit card. Okay? If you haven't brought your credit card, that's it. There's no other option. So, because emergencies may happen, even if you are one of those kind of people who say it's dangerous to bring a credit card, because you may, let's practice this, you may max out your credit card. When you max out your credit card, what you do is you spend more than you should. You go beyond your limit, because credit cards, if let's say you have a 10,000 bucks, 10,000 reais limit on your credit card. If you have a 10,000 reais limit on your credit card and you are traveling and you buy something that, let's say you have used 8,000, and then you buy something that it's like 3,000, especially if you are a good client who pays your bills on due date, you pay your credit card bill, the name of the, how can I say fatura do cartão in English? Credit card bill. So especially if you're one of those good clients who pay their credit card bills on time, on the due date, on the day you are supposed to pay. In English, it's called due date. D-U-E date. D-U-E date. So if you're a good client who pays, especially if you're a good client who pays your credit card bills on the due date, on time, okay? You do not pay after. What happens is, if you have spent 8,000 out of your 10,000 reais limit, and you try to buy something that is, it's 3,000, they're not gonna decline. They're not gonna reject. They're not gonna block, say no. What happens is they will allow the transaction to go through. They will allow you to spend the 3,000 and to go over the limit, go over your limit on 1,000 reais. Okay? When that happens, in English we say you have maxed out your credit card. You have maxed out your credit card. You have gone over the limit. So even if you are one of those people who may spend more than you should, or more than you could and than you should, if you bring your credit card with you on your trip, I believe you should have a credit card, because emergencies may happen. Okay? Should I rent a car? Depends on where you go. As we said, as we talked about, teacher, I'm going to London. Should I rent a car? I believe no. No, I wouldn't. Okay, when I went to London, I didn't rent a car. If you go to Paris, I wouldn't rent a car, and I believe you shouldn't rent a car. If you go to Italy, maybe, especially if you're gonna drive, let's say, from Italy to another country in Europe, maybe, okay? Or if you go to Maranello, where the factory, where Ferrari's factory is, where Ferrari's car manufacturer, the factory that produces the cars for Ferrari is, okay? Then yes, you should get a car. Actually, they have the option for you to drive a Ferrari a day, 2 hours, 3 hours, whatever. But if you are going, for example, to New York City, I believe you shouldn't rent a car. London, neither. If you go to Florida, yes, because public transportation in Florida is terrible, especially Miami and Orlando. So yes, you should rent a car if you go to Orlando or if you go to Miami. If you go to New York or London, I think you shouldn't rent a car because first of all, the traffic is terrible. There is nowhere to park the car. It's extremely expensive. Parking lots are very expensive and the public transportation is amazing. Why are you going to rent a car? I believe you shouldn't. Okay? You could, but I believe you shouldn't. Okay? Should I bring warm weather clothes or cold weather clothes? Clothes for a warm weather, hot and dry, sunny, like Florida in July, or cold weather clothes like New York in December, Europe in December, winter, okay? What should I bring? It depends on the weather. That's why you should check the weather on your destination before you pack. Okay? Should I get a prepaid SIM card? Yes, I believe yes. Well, prepaid SIM card is what you put on your phone so you can make calls. Carriers, I believe you should go on the first or second day of your trip. You should go. Could and should. I cannot say you must have a prepaid SIM card because it's not mandatory. It's not mandatory. It's optional. Okay? But I believe you should get a prepaid SIM card and you could choose among any of the carriers. You could get a Verizon SIM card. You could get a No 203 in Europe. In the United States, you could get an AT&T, a T-Mobile, a Verizon, a Sprint. But I believe you should get a prepaid SIM card so you can use the internet, especially to call an Uber, okay? To get an Uber, depending on where you are, make emergency calls. It's, for example, when we go shopping, especially if we are traveling with friends or family, there are always times when some of us want to go in one direction, the other want to go in another direction to another stores. So we can separate, and if we have internet, if we have 4G, 3G, if we have a phone, a functioning phone, we can always call each other or we can always text each other to meet again. We can get an Uber, we can do, we can even post our trip on Instagram live, whatever. So I believe you should get a prepaid SIM card. I cannot say you must because it's possible for you to travel without a prepaid SIM card, but I would say you should, and then I can say you could. Oh, which one should I get? You could get a Verizon, AT&T, T-Mobile. So you could open suggestions. If you are looking for internet using, you should get AT&T. They have the best internet packages available for prepaid SIM cards. So could, open suggestions, must, obligatory, mandatory, should, the best or one of the best options for your specific case. Could, open suggestion, general for anybody. Then for your case, the best or one of the best options are, should, mandatory, obligatory, must. Okay? Should I carry my passport with me, or should I have my passport on me? No. In my opinion, no, you should not. You could, you don't have to. it's not a must, it's not obligatory, it's not mandatory, you don't have to. Okay, so no, it's not a must case. You could carry, but in my opinion, you shouldn't. And I say this because I lost my wife's passport in 2014. Okay, it took us 2 days, a lot of money to get another passport. We lost like $1,000 because we lost the train, we lost the hotel reservation. They didn't accept to cancel, even though I explained everything. We lost time, we lost money, all of that because we were carrying our passports on us, with us, and it's something that we didn't have to be doing. It wasn't a must, okay? We shouldn't be carrying, because what you can do is you should, the best option in my opinion, you should put the passport, you should keep your passport in the hotel, in the safe, and then you carry, you scan your passport, digitaliza, you scan your passport, and you carry a PDF or a picture, a JPEG picture of your passport on your phone. And if you happen to be approached by a police officer and he or she asks you for your original passport or for the passport itself, you say, oh, for security or for safety reasons, or for security, I left my passport in the hotel, in the safe. I have a picture, I have a PDF or a JPEG, I have a picture of my passport here. If you want, feel welcome to join me or to go with me to the hotel, and I can get the passport and show it to you. They understand this, okay? They know, they understand. If you do it, it's fine, okay? It's no problem. Oh, for my security or for safety reasons, I chose to leave my passport I left my passport in my hotel, in the safe. I have a picture, I have a PDF, I have a scanned picture, whatever, of my passport here on my phone. If you want, feel more than welcome to come with me or to join me in my hotel or to follow me to my hotel, and then I can get into my room and get the passport in the safe and show it to you. It's not going to be a problem. Okay? So, you could carry the passport with you. It's not something you have to do. It's not a must. So, in my opinion, you shouldn't do it. Okay, guys? Okay, let's continue. Flight vocabulary. When you are doing your check-in, they will sometimes ask you if it's possible, if there are seats available on the flight. They might ask you the question, would you like a seat by the window? Would you like a seat in the middle or in the aisle? Aisle is the corridor in the middle of the airplane, okay? So, would you like a seat by the window? Would you like a seat in the middle, or would you like a seat in the aisle? Okay? It depends if there are seats available. It depends on the flight, the person, the airline company attendant that is going to talk to you. Okay? During the flight, can I have a glass of water? Can I have a glass of juice? Can I have a glass of wine? Can I have some coffee? Can I have another glass of water? Can I have another glass of juice? Can I have another soda, another Coke, Guaraná, whatever? Can I have another soda? Can I have another meal? Okay? If they served you sandwich or pasta, whatever, and you liked, and you want to eat more, you want to have another one, you may ask, excuse me, if you want to be polite, could I have another meal, please? Could I have another soda, please? Could I have another glass of water, please? Would you mind bringing me one more coffee? Could I have another coffee, please, if you want to be polite? Would you mind bringing me another coffee? Would it be possible for you to bring me another coffee? Would it be possible for you to bring me another glass of water? Would it be possible for me to have another glass of soda? Could I have another glass of soda? Could I have another water? Could I have another meal, please? If you say could, or would it be possible, or would you mind bringing me another, you are being polite. Very polite, okay? Excuse me, could you help me out here, please? I can't find my seat. I can't find the chair where I am. It's not chair, it's seat. I'm just saying chair so you understand. I can't find my seat. Could you help me out here, please? I can't find the place where I am supposed to sit. And they're gonna ask you back. They're gonna fire back the question, what's your seat number? 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 25F, 35B, 1A, 3C, 4B, whatever. What's your seat number? What's your seat number? What's your seat number? Okay? By the way, the name of the people who help you during the flight, who help you on the flight, during the flight, who bring food and drinks, beverages, drinks or beverages, as we talked in routine, beverages, okay? You might see the word beverages, which is the same for drinks, people who bring food and drinks, people who are responsible for the safety inside the airplane, okay? People who help you during the flight, the staff of the pilot, they are called flight attendants. In the past, they used to be called stewards or stewardess. In Formula One today, the staff, the people responsible for helping a race to be safe, to happen safely, they are called steward and stewardess, women, okay? In airline companies and flights, in the past, it used to be called steward and stewardess. Nowadays, they are called flight attendants. That's the name of the job, okay? We have the captain, the pilot, captain and pilot, it's the same, the co-pilot, and overhead beam, fasten your seatbelts, and exit rows, which we are going to see in the next slide. So, this picture stands for fasten your seatbelts, we are taking off. Fasten your seatbelts, we are landing. Fasten your seatbelts, we are going through turbulence. Okay, so fasten your seatbelts. Fasten your seatbelts, we are going through turbulence, we are taking off, we are about to take off, we are about to land, we are landing. What's the name of the people who work in flights, who help you during the flight, bringing food, drinks, to answer your questions about the ETA, estimated time of arrival, questions about turbulence, questions about the flight, about the destination, whatever. People who help keeping the flight safe. The staff of the pilot. Flight attendants. Flight attendants. Flight attendants. What is this? This is called the overhead beam. Overhead. Overhead. Overhead beam, overhead compartment. Overhead beam, it's where you put the, what is the name of the bag that you bring with you onto the airplane? Carry-on bags. Carry on. I carry them on the plane because we get on the plane, on the bus, on the ship, in the car, but we get on the plane. So the bags that I carry with me there, I say carry on. I carry them on the plane with me. Okay? So the carry-on bags, we put them inside in the overhead bin above our seats. So you will probably hear the pilot saying, everybody please place your carry-on bags in the overhead bin compartment or in the overhead bin above your seats. Place your carry-on bags under or in the under your seats or in the overhead bin above your seats. Please place your carry-on bags under your seats. You may place your carry-on bags under your seat or in the overhead bin above your seats. Okay? And then we have the aisle, another aisle. We have the business elite, the economy or coach class, which is standard. And we have the first class and business class. Some aircrafts. Aircraft is the formal name for airplane, like avião, aeronave. Airplane, aircraft. Some aircrafts have only economy or coach class. Some aircrafts will have business elite class and coach or economy class. Some aircrafts will have first class, business class, and coach or economy class. Okay, so aisle, seats by the window seat, middle seat, aisle seat. Aisle seat, middle seat, aisle seat. Aisle seats, middle seats, window seats. As I said, depending on the flight, depending on many factors, when you are doing your check-in, you might be asked, would you like a seat by the window? Would you like a seat in the middle? Would you like a seat in the aisle? Okay? Fasten your seatbelts. We are taking off. Fasten your seatbelts. We are landing. Fasten your seatbelts. We are going through turbulence. Who do you call if you want to have another water, another glass of wine, another coffee, another meal, ask questions about whatever it is you may want to ask? You call the flight attendants. And everybody, please, we are going to take off. Please place or put your seats straight. Okay, so comfortable, straight. The back of the seat. When we are taking off and landing, they ask us, please put or place your seat straight, put your seat straight, place your carry-on bags under or in the overhead bin above your seats. We are taking off, we are landing. Place your seat straight, put your seat straight, place or put your carry-on bags under your seats or in the overhead bin above your seats. In the overhead bin. Okay.